Hey there, welcome to the Ukestuff channel and welcome to this comparison video of the three Enya Novas. I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. So we have the Enya Nova U Pro, which is the tenor scale. We have the Enya Nova U concert scale. You can see this is a primary player of mine. And then I also have the Enya Nova U Mini soprano scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play each one. I'll play the same little lick. So I think I'll start with the Snowden Symphony by Mark Pugh. And Mark is a distributor of ukuleles and instruments in the UK. Also sells some things like a Jumping Cow brand, Carrier Baton Rouge in the UK. Wonderful guy. Makes awesome ukulele picks. So anyway, this is Mark's arrangement of Snowden Symphony. So here it is on the tenor. Okay, the ringing has stopped. All right, let's switch over to the Enya Nova U. Incidentally, fretwear, none on mine. Mine was a very early one, ordered it very, very early. This one I do not think was sent to me for review purposes. This one I think I bought myself, but here we go. All right, ringing has stopped. And now the Enya Nova Mini. And I held the last note off of my body. Mine does not have the side sound hole. I think newer ones might, and the newer ones might also have the strap buttons that this does not. So very similar. My Nova U Mini does not have side position markers. Neither did my Nova U, although the way that I've got this set up with the sticker is the neck illusions were able to put dots on the side, so it makes it visible to see as you're playing where those dots are. All right, so a real quick summary of what I heard there before I go to the next little song is the Enya Nova U Pro tenor was the loudest, had the most sustain, and the deepest of the tone. The Enya Nova U, the concert, was I think the clearest and brightest. And again, I am a fan of bright and clear, so that appeals to me. And of course, concert is my scale, so that's where my happy spot is, right there. And then the soprano here, you just don't have the soundboard. It's still resonant. It sounds good, but it just doesn't have the spatial filling of the concert, and certainly not of the tenor. It's not bad by any means, but this is really, I think, if you're deciding whether to get the concert or the soprano, get the concert. But if you're a person that loves soprano, this is where you're going to want to go with that, right? So, all right, now let's do another little song. I generally do for Elise, a little Beethoven. So I'll do that on each one of these. All right, on to the concert scale. to the soprano. The other thing I should mention is that the tenor is using the Dario titanium strings, whereas the other instruments are using Enya's own fluorocarbon strings. So with that in mind, that can also impact my own performance here, because the titanium strings are just so much thicker and harder to press down than the Enya strings, which I really, really like. Just some thoughts. Well, again, it's where I'm comfortable. Concert is where I go. I think the tenor has a slightly deeper, more rounded sound. So if you like that, that's where you should go. If you like the bright, clear sound, this concert. And again, the soprano, again, only if you really like soprano, I think is where to go there with that. If you have the choice between spending the money for a soprano or buying the concert, and you don't care about scale, I think I would just spend a few extra dollars and buy the concert. All right, the last thing I'm going to play is something I've been calling the uke stuff ditty, which is just this little lick that I created that I play right before I start a review of the uke guide reviews. All right, on to concert. And on to soprano. All right, so some thoughts. Again, this just seems muted and quiet. It's not bad, but it's definitely not my go-to. So again, probably if I had a choice, unless I love soprano, that wouldn't be it. This is the first song that I've felt like I would love to see a little bit wider neck on the concert. The concert's neck is really narrow. I can't remember whether it's 33 or 34 millimeters. Generally, it doesn't get in your way. But when I was playing that diminished chord there in the song, to get there on the fly was much harder than the tenor. That said, because the tenor is running those D'Addario strings, so much harder to press the notes. So when I get up here to that bar chord, I mean, like butter to play. So easy to play and press down with those Enya strings. And so again, that's why we sort of think about what strings do you want to use on your instrument. And you don't have to like what everybody else likes. You can like your own strings. Now, the other thing that I just want to address really quickly is that one of the big criticisms of the Enya Nova, the Nova U, the original concert, was that there was fret wear, to the point that some of my friends on YouTube posted videos about it, and then people get alarmed, and then they're like searching underneath their strings to see how things are doing. Well, I can see wear in my strings, but not really any wear in my frets. I think a lot of times people were changing strings, to be honest with you. Now, that's not to say that maybe there was a bad batch or a bad formulation. Maybe there was. I'm going to trust people at their words. That said, I think there were some people that put on wound strings. I think there were some people that put on, for example, like Aquila red strings, which have metal powder in them. And those strings eat away at a plastic ukulele. That there are warnings on the outdoor ukulele page. There are warnings on the Magic Flea page about it. And I think there is on Enya now too. use the strings or the type of strings. If you don't like that brand, find a different brand. So if you don't like the Enya strings because they're too floppy or too responsive, look at Worth, look at Martin, look at Flight, look at the Dario fluorocarbon. Look at all those. Now, that all said, I said this in the full review. Enya, I would love one of these with metal frets. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Massive request. Seriously, I think this already for me is a 5 out of 5. I'd make it a 6 out of 5 with all sincerity. So just a quick look at those three instruments. And again, just for full disclaimer, the tenor was sent to me for review purposes. The soprano was sent to me for review purposes. This one I bought myself. And this is one of my regular players that I bring with me to school, to conferences, on family trips, and other things. Although I have traveled with this one before too. Again, I enjoy playing this much more. And yeah, if you're ever gonna adjust those, the frets, make a little bit wider nut, and deal that at the same time. Change the mold a bit and do that. Make an Enya U Pro concert version. Love to see it. All right, thanks so much for watching the video. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll be back soon with some more uke stuff for you.